I want you to imagine this. You just bought a 100K evaluation with Take Profit Trader. You're confident. You know how to trade. You open your platform, ready to make that first move. But then the question hits. How do I actually pass this evaluation in the smartest way possible? Not just with luck, but with structure. That's exactly what we're breaking down right now. So let's start simple. Take Profit Trader is one of the few prop firms that actually rewards consistency instead of pure luck. It's a bit harder to pass, yes, but once you're funded, getting paid is easier than in most other firms. That's the trade-off. Harder test, smoother payouts. And if you understand how their rules really work, you can turn that to your advantage. Before we dive into the math, here's the core rule for the 100K evaluation. To pass, you need to make 6,000 profit. You can't go more than 3,000 in end-of-day trailing drawdown. No daily loss limit, which is already a big plus. But they do have a consistency rule. This is the one that trips up most traders. You must trade for at least 5 separate days. And your most profitable day can't be more than half of your total profit. That means if your total profit is 6,000, your best day can't be over 3,000. So what's the problem here? The problem is that most traders treat this rule as if it's optional. They try to pass in 1 or 2 days, blow up the consistency, and then wonder why they get stuck. But once you understand how the math works, you realize that the consistency rule is actually your best ally. It forces you to slow down, spread your wins, and trade in a way that looks like a real funded trader. And that's the key to passing. Let's break this down in simple numbers. Say you go for the fastest route possible. You make 3,000 in one day and another 3,000 the next day. Congratulations, you've hit your 6,000 target. But there's a catch. Your biggest day was 3,000, which is 50% of the total. That means you're right at the limit. You can't make another trade that day, or you'll have to raise your total target even higher. So now you have to trade 3 more days, but your evaluation is already at risk because you're too close to the edge. In this case, yes, you passed fast, but the odds weren't in your favor. If one trade goes against you, the whole evaluation resets. That's why most people fail. They go for the sprint when this test is built for a marathon. So let's slow it down and play smarter. What if instead of 2 big days, you went for smaller, consistent days? For example, let's say you make 1,200 a day for 5 days. That adds up perfectly to 6,000. Now your biggest day is only 1,200, which is far below the 3,000 limit. That means you're safe, consistent, and completely within the rules. It's a slower approach, but look what it gives you. More time to make adjustments. More time to let the market give you setups. And a lot less pressure to force a trade. The truth is, most people fail not because they can't trade, but because they try to do too much too fast. When you go for smaller daily goals, you remove the emotional load. You can take a red trade one day and still be okay because you have time to recover across the rest of the evaluation. Before we continue, in the pinned comment, you'll find the Take Profit Trader link and promo code that gives you 40% off. It gives you a discount and supports my work. Let's keep going. Now let's look at the middle ground. So you go for 1,000 per day for 6 trading days. That's 6,000 total, right on target. Still consistent, still simple, and you're trading enough days to check all the boxes. It's balanced. Not too slow, not too fast. Remember, Take Profit Trader rewards steady, not reckless. And the good part is once you get funded, you can withdraw profits every single day if you want. That's what makes it worth the effort. Other firms let you pass easily, but make it hard to get paid. Here, it's the opposite. Work a little more in the beginning, and it becomes easy later. Now, let's get back to the math, because this is where people mess up the most. The drawdown is your biggest limit. On the 100K evaluation, you can't go over 3,000 in drawdown. That means your trades can't dip more than that below your balance at any time. If you risk 1,500 in one single position, that's already half your max allowed. One wrong move, and you're done. So here's the smarter way to think about it. Instead of risking big on one trade, think in terms of many small, controlled hits. Let's say your daily goal is 1,200. If you risk 300 per trade with a 1 to 2 risk reward, you only need 2 solid wins that day. You're not overexposed. You're respecting the drawdown, and you're building confidence. That's what passing this evaluation is all about. Not luck, not guessing, but structure. Think of it like baseball. You don't need home runs every game. You just need to keep hitting singles. And if you do that long enough, the scoreboard will show the win. Now I want you to think about this. There are traders out there who keep failing these evaluations over and over, but it's not because they don't know how to trade. It's because they don't respect the math of the rules. They treat the evaluation like a live account. They forget that this is a test. You're not proving how much you can make. You're proving that you can follow a plan. So if I were to summarize the perfect formula to pass take profit trader, here's how I'd put it. First, forget the idea of passing in 2 days. That's luck, not skill. Second, break down the goal into daily chunks. 1,000 a day or less. Third, keep your drawdown under control. Never risk more than 10% of what's allowed. Fourth, respect the consistency rule. Spread your profits across 5 or more trading days. Do that, and you're already ahead of 90% of traders. Let's also talk about mindset for a moment. When you're doing this kind of evaluation, your brain tries to trick you. It whispers, just one big trade and you'll be done. That's the ego talking. But remember, the goal here is not to pass fast. It's to pass once and never have to redo it. The difference between a beginner and a pro is patience. Every trade you take inside this evaluation is like a step on a narrow bridge. You don't need to run across it. You just need to walk carefully until you reach the other side. Now, you might be wondering, why make the evaluation harder if the goal is to find good traders? That's the point. Take Profit Trader wants traders who can handle pressure without breaking their rules. Anyone can win once, but real consistency is proven through repetition. Here's a small mental trick that helps a lot. Stop thinking of this as a challenge account. Start thinking of it as training for your future funded account. Every day you trade, act as if you're already funded. That shift alone will change how you manage risk, how you take profits, and how you recover from losses. When I applied this mindset myself, everything changed. I stopped chasing big days. I started stacking small wins. And those small wins became the reason I passed multiple evaluations with no stress. Let me show you how that looks in practice. Imagine you trade for 10 days instead of 5. You only aim for 600 per day. That's 6,000 total. You're within the rules. You gave yourself extra time, and your daily goals are small enough to stay relaxed. Even if you take a small loss, it doesn't break the account. It's simple math, but most people ignore it. And that's why they keep restarting. They're trying to get rich in the evaluation phase instead of focusing on just getting funded. Don't make that mistake. Your goal is to pass safely, not impress anyone. Once you're funded, that's when the real work begins. But the good part about Take Profit Trader is that once you pass, there are no restrictions on when you can withdraw. You can literally get paid daily if you want. That's why I said earlier, it's harder at the start, but easier afterward. Let's pause for a second. If this breakdown is helping you, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel right now. I post videos like regularly, teaching traders how to think smarter and manage risk better. In the pinned comment, you'll find the Take Profit Trader link and promo code that gives you 40% off. It helps you get cheaper evaluations, and it helps support my work at the same time. Now back to what matters most. How do you build the discipline to actually follow this plan? The secret is to predefine everything before you open the platform. Know your target, know your max loss, and know when you'll stop for the day. That's how you remove emotion. Let's say your goal is 1,000 for the day and your stop loss is 500. The moment you hit either, you're done for the day. No revenge trades, no, just one more. Because remember, you're not trying to beat the market. You're trying to pass a test. And this test rewards those who stop early when they're ahead. If you can stay disciplined for one evaluation, you can stay disciplined for an entire funded career. It's the same mindset. So here's your step-by-step structure to pass. Step 1. Choose your lot size small enough to handle multiple losses in a row without hitting the max drawdown. Step 2. Aim for steady profits instead of spikes. Step 3. Give yourself extra days if you need to. And step 4. Treat every trade like it matters. Because it does. Every trade is either pushing you closer to that funded account or pulling you further away. Now, I want to give you one last perspective before we close this out. Passing this evaluation is not about how good your entries are. It's about how well you can survive long enough to reach the goal. The traders who pass are not always the best at reading charts. They're the ones who can stay calm when others panic. And that's what Take Profit Trader is testing. Can you stay consistent under pressure? Can you stay patient when nothing is moving? Can you control yourself when things are going well? If you can, you'll pass. So next time you start your evaluation, remind yourself of this. It's not you against the firm. It's you against your own impatience. Trade small, trade consistent, and let the math do the work for you. That's how you pass Take Profit Trader. If this helped you, hit the like button, subscribe, and check the pinned comment for the 40% off link and promo code. Use them to save money and help support the channel. I'll see you in the next one. Trade safe, stay disciplined, and keep growing.